So we have 5 more days until the really cold weather comes in, and I'm continuing my efforts to provide shelter, water, and food for all the animals outside, and then also for Katie and I. This morning I ran to the store and I got some more pig feed for the pigs. We were out and I bought 20 because you get 20% off when you buy 20 at a time. Well, as you can see, I got a bed full of loose hay, got it from the neighbors. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to back up the truck to where the pigs are. You want some more bedding? Oh, is that so good? Is that so good? Where are you going with that? Hey, buddy, you're kind of blocking. You're blocking me. Oh, are you gonna drive? Huh? Are you gonna drive us back to the carport? You silly girl. Oh, you silly girl. You're such a silly girl. Yes, you're such a silly girl. You're such a good girl. Yes, you are. Hey, Winston. What do you think of this cold weather that's coming? Are you excited? Or are you not excited? Do you have no idea yet? Do you want it to snow? Would you like it to snow? I bet you would. You would like to snow, wouldn't you? Yeah. You're a good boy. You're just a good boy, aren't you? So for the chicken coop, I think what I'm going to do is just lay down some cardboard. I think that'll work. Maybe staple it or nail it to the side so it doesn't flop down on the edges down there. And then I'll just put the hay on top of the cardboard. I don't really want to do anything permanent because I am planning on redoing the bottom and the top of this coop. And so I don't want to put a lot of effort into it right now. So I think I can get away with just putting cardboard down and then putting the hay on the cardboard. I think that'll do. I'll put some hay on here. The only issue is these roosting bars are going to be a little low with all the hay. But you know what? They're just going to have to figure it out. I'm not really thrilled about this, but it'll work. I think a lot of this bedding, these pine shavings, are just going to get knocked out of here in the cracks and stuff, but I think it'll do for now. I decided to use pine shavings instead of the hay because the hay was really, really dusty, and I know that kind of dust is not good for the chickens. So I went with the low dust pine shavings Anyway, this is gonna have to work. I'm gonna do the same thing for the small chicken coop and then move on to the water. Okay. So check out what happened to this Easy Up. We had a huge windstorm and this thing went flying and twisted and it broke. Oh man, that really stinks. So I have to find if I can get replacement parts for it and fix it, or fix it myself or something. But look at that, that thing is just mangled. That stinks. I don't remember if I mentioned this in yesterday's vlog, but for the chickens, my plan is to, the night before the big freeze, I'm gonna grab the free range chickens off of the bush that they sleep in, and I'm actually gonna put them into this into this coop here with the rest of the chickens. And so all of the chickens will be here in this coop, except for the baby ones. The baby ones will still stay in the small one. They have small enough quarters. But with everybody together in one coop, I'm gonna close the door. They'll produce enough body heat where everybody will be able to stay warm and be nice and comfortable. During the 3 days that it's not gonna get above freezing temperatures, I'll just keep all the chickens here in this run, and then when the weather warms up, then I'll go ahead and move the free range chickens out and let them be free range again. So that's the plan. I think the water is going to be the hardest part for us over the 3 days it's going to be below freezing. The house has water from the city, but it's not insulated well enough. The house is not insulated well enough for me to keep the water going in the house and not have potential freezing of the pipes, especially when we get down to like 8 degrees. So I'm going to be turning the water off at the house, draining all the lines. So that means that for the RV, for drinking water for Katie and I, we'll have to fill up the freshwater tank and hope that that doesn't freeze. And for the animals, I was thinking I'd just fill up a bunch of 5-gallon buckets and put them inside the house and disperse the water as needed, but there's a possibility that that stuff may freeze also. But then I was thinking, well, I have a couple 50-gallon barrels. Why don't I fill up a 50-gallon barrel full of water? I purchased a submergible tank de-icer, so 1500 watts and 12.5 amps. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to put this on the bottom of the 50-gallon barrel that I'm filling up with water, and I'm just going to keep this thing on all the time, and that should keep the water from freezing. And so I can go out every couple hours through these next few days where it's freezing and replenish the animals' water with water that's not frozen. Okay. Last piece of the puzzle, maybe we've kind of already talked about it a little bit, but it's food. So they have shelter, figured out the water. Now food's gonna be pretty simple. We just have to keep them, you don't say, Richard, keep them well fed. So as I mentioned in yesterday's video, the baby chicks, they have that big metal feeder. We actually have 2 of those. I'm gonna fill the second one up for the chickens in the run. And then one secret ingredient that Katie read about a while ago, cayenne pepper. So supposedly if you feed your chicks cayenne pepper, their taste buds can't feel the heat, but supposedly this keeps their body warm. So we're going to give them a bunch of cayenne pepper. There we go. Okay, let's go give this to the chicks. Well, that thing holds quite a bit. Okay. As long as it doesn't rain, this thing can stay out here. I think that's good for the chicks. So I think we're good. A couple more days and it's gonna get nice and cold. So for water, got the heated 50-gallon barrel. Should be good for all the animals for that. We'll just get like a scooper and go take the water to the animals as needed, multiple times per day. I'll fill up the water tank in the RV. All the animals have shelters except for the dogs. I'm not sure what I'm going to do for the dogs for shelter, more so than what they already have. So stay tuned for next episode. I'll let you know what we decided to do. And for food is just making sure that all of the animals have plenty of food, pretty much free feeding. They can eat as much as they want. The more food that they have, the more energy that they can burn to stay warm. So I think we're ready to go. We'll see you next time.